I don't really have much to announce. We're not going to announce our roster today or anything like that, but I will tell the group that Eliezer Hernandez will start the year on the IL. So he'll start on the IL with a right shoulder strain. So he is playing catch. We shut him down for a couple days, but so that's it. But we'll announce the roster tomorrow.
When did that come about? What happened?
He had some soreness coming out of a game, and so we looked at him for a couple days after that, and then it kind of lingered. So took some anti-inflammatories, broke for a few days. Playing catch now, feels fine. So but we're just set to kind of build it back up a little bit.
When was that game? When he came out?
Last week. I think end of last week. Here we go.
Carrasco came out of his okay yesterday. Everything's fluid.
Yeah. A little bit of a bruise, but all in all fine. So
Where did he get a bruise?
He should stay in turn. Above the ankle area. That's it. There you go.
So, how do you feel about the team you've constructed that's ready to go tomorrow?
And we feel good. We're excited to get underway, and tomorrow's day one of 183 days, 162 games. So, but yeah, excited to start. I think players are pumped, and just a pretty good vibe down here overall. So,
I think that stands out to you the most about this team that you've put together.
I think we're pretty complete in a lot of areas. There's length in the lineup. Going with two aces at the top of a rotation again, similar to last year, and we'll have a little bit of adversity in the bullpen to kind of think through. I've talked a little bit with Buck about that, and the rest of the coaching staff. We'll see how that situation presents itself. When we're in game, but feel good about the optionality and the depth that we've built, and we took on some water a little bit in spring training with some injuries, but all in all, it's my job of the front office to continue to look near and far for reinforcements.
You guys put a lot of money into the team during the offseason, Billy. Can you say if this year's team is better than last year's, or how would you look at it? I mean, obviously, going into the offseason is to try to improve it.
Not to compare. I mean, I think this is a talented club. I thought last year's was a talented club, and I feel good about where we are. And but we can always be better. We're always going to look to make improvements where we can. Maybe some of those improvements come internally over the course of the season. Maybe they come with making a trade. Or depending on what's out there and what's available to sign, maybe we can make another signing.
Did Montez de Oca end up needing surgery?
Montez de Oca, he had surgery today. So he's actually in surgery as we speak. So I'll have an update if you guys want to check in with me tomorrow on that.
Wait, that was what kind of surgery?
Arthroscopic surgery.
Elbow.
Yeah. So we'll see what the kind of the takeaways and the findings are after that. But I know there was a couple loose bodies they were going to remove.
I know we put a lot of emphasis on opening day, and fans do, you do in the media.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have to take a little bit of a longer approach, like you said.
Right.
You try to make the team better as soon as you can. But do you think it has to be a longer-term plan over the course of the season?
We want to be day to day, and so our focus right now is on tomorrow. But part of my job is to be looking ahead and look for opportunities that exist. I kind of liken it a little bit to like a Christmas morning feeling that all the new toys are out underneath the tree and it's fun to play with. But then for those of you that have kids, you'll notice on like day 2 or day 3 the kids aren't playing with some of the toys that are brand new, and they're playing with toys that they've held for a little while, and then you really know if how it's impacting them. So from our standpoint, I think that thinking about the long term, thinking about the whole season is where our focus as a front office goes. But right now in that clubhouse, they're thinking about tomorrow, and then they'll think about Friday after tomorrow's over. So.
When you said looked at the team in the offseason, and obviously you guys won 101 games during the regular season, but lost in the first round. Is there anything you identified that any pitfalls, any ways to improve the team to avoid, say, like that first round exit?
I mean, just continue to be able to beat teams in a number of ways. You know, if we can beat teams, by starting pitching, if we can beat teams by having a competent bullpen and a lineup, you want to be able to win games in a lot of different ways. And so, I know Buck and his staff spent a lot of time with the new rules and kind of going over, how to maybe, kind of push the edges a little bit. So we'll be fundamentally sound. We'll be smart on the bases. We'll make good decisions. So we just want to be able to win games in a number of ways.
Follow up on that, Billy. Are you of the belief that you build a team for 162 games and the playoffs are kind of a crapshoot, or are there things that you can do and have done that can increase your chances once you do get to October?
I mean, if you're going to play a shortened series, if you can stack really good pitching in that shortened series, I believe that can help and put you in a good position. And we've seen it over the test of time, whether it's been Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee, Johnson and Schilling, and we go way back. We go to Don Gooden, Dave Cone. When you can stack that, those really formidable starters. I think you give yourself a chance if you're in a do or die series. But a lot of the moves or transactions that we do now are with an eye for the long term. And what's best for the club, the organization, the development of the team. So there's ways to position it in a do or die series, but let's just get through them all.
To that end, you obviously brought in Verlander to give the two aces strategy another shot. Mm-hmm. Were there other moves where when you made them, you said, okay, this is going to be good for the season, but really this move is an eye on October?
It's interesting because last week when we went across the state and played at Atlanta and then played in Tampa, I rode with Beltran and so plenty of time to talk. And when we were having a conversation, I asked him, as a player, how did you feel if you could position two aces, two of the premier pitchers in the game, if you were going to play a 3-game series? What was your mindset? How did it change? And he said, you feel like you walk into that series like we're going to win this thing if we can score a couple runs. That's how you feel. And so it was cool to hear his perspective on it from somebody that kind of live and died in this game for so long. So but that's what we're looking to do.
Were there other moves that you made to try with a similar idea in your head about tailoring it to that short series?
No, I mean in general, we're just trying to look for value and look for ways to impact the team, whether it's on the run scoring side or the run prevention side. You want to give the diversity to the manager. You want to have some of that diversity in the bench, like I talked about the other day, and you want to have that in the bullpen as well, to be able to provide some different looks, or being able to go get Rayleigh this year. That was a trade that we were looking to do if we couldn't acquire the left-hander on the free agent market. So.
Obviously, money doesn't buy championships, but it certainly improves teams' odds over the history historically. But how do you internalize Steve's commitment, spending on his team the most ever, as you know? How do you view that expectations, the weight of that? And is anything short of a World Series a disappointment in your eyes?
We have high standards for ourselves. We try to keep those standards internal. We talk about those. It's just our group. But it's Steve and Alex making the commitment that they said they were going to make, where they were going to help bridge this organization and give us a chance to perennially put out a winning team. And so while we develop a farm system, while we're able to get to a blueprint where we can reach sustainability and then use free agency more, use it a little bit more as a luxury rather than a necessity. We had to go out and rebuild a pitching rotation this year. A lot of people gone. And so, that investment just shows their commitment to the fans, to the supporters of the club, and I'm really thankful for it.
last outing, you saw a lot of goals.
Yeah, the fourth ball.
And it looks like you satisfied. You shouted.
Yeah, he did pretty good. Yeah, I'm excited to watch him pitch. So to bring that kind of talent in, and a guy with that set of tools. I've been around some pretty good pitchers from Japan, and I'm excited to see him here, and he's acclimating and blending really well inside that clubhouse.
He's the second pitcher from Japan you signed. And is he going to be like a success like him?
Kodai's going to be Kodai. So.
Did you bring a taxi squad down here?
No.
So no extra players.
Really?
Good question.
Thank you.
You're about to start circling names on the roster.
Oh, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious what your roster is at this point.
Yeah, that was good though. Yeah.
You emphasized arms with a lot of high leverage innings experience in the offseason and putting together a bullpen that way. But without Edwin, how do you assess that depth?
I think at the start of spring training, we talked about having 5 high leverage relievers. So right now we're at 4. We have our eyes on a couple that we think could emerge in that role, but we'll let the games, bear out, see where it ends.
What impressed you about John Curtis as well as spring training?
Just the integrity of his stuff. How he's able to make his pitches behave and do what he wants them to do. Guys when they come back from Tommy John, they put in a lot of work. There's a lot of core conditioning, shoulder, arm conditioning that goes on, and his stuff is really crisp. And I had some familiarity with him from previous team, and he looks in a pretty good spot. So excited to see him do his thing.
What do you think is the greatest strength of this roster?
The greatest strength of the roster, starting pitching, and depth of lineup and bullpen. I mean, it's really hard for me to actually pick out one thing. So yeah, it's hard to pick out one thing.
Do one more. Is Edwin traveling with you guys, or is he staying back in Seattle?
He will come up to New York early next week.
All right. Thank you very much, guys.